Imagine being able to have access to a universe of all the information known to mankind, complete with photographs, sounds, and motion video footage. Imagine being able to click on a name and have a list of sources of information about that name appear before you, and that another click could take you to the reference that interests you. The information there has more references to carry you to more sources, and on and on. An almost infinite trail of information, images, and resources can all be at your fingertips, all right in your own home or classroom. Now envision being able to shop for clothes, computers, cars, or homes right from your computer. Music, software, books, or videos can be previewed before ordering. Newspapers, magazines, and books are everywhere in this online world, customized to the way you like to read and learn. Weather, sports, and news can be accessed 24 hours a day. While not all knowledge, every company, or every person is a part of this online world yet, it's getting close. It's not a dream, it's real and available to you now. This is your personal information universe, the Internet. In this tape, we'll try to answer some of your questions about the different ways to get onto the information superhighway, how the Internet connection works, and what some of the possibilities are once you're online. Before we get started, let's define some terms that we'll be using. There are three things you must have to get connected to the Internet: a computer, a modem, and a phone connection to an Internet service provider. The modem is a small external box or an internal computer card that converts the information coming in or out of your computer into a signal that can travel over the phone lines. Modem is short for modulator-demodulator. The familiar sound you hear of a modem or fax signal is just that, a modulated signal. There is a carrier signal that looks like this, and it's modulated or vibrated like this to carry the information. When your modem connects to another modem, they test each other to see how fast they can send and receive data, and the conversation goes something like this.
Hi, I'm modem A. My top transmission speed is 28,800 bits of data per second. How about you?
I'm modem B. I can go up to 33.6K per second, but I'll come down to 28.8K. How's that?
Modem A here. That's perfect. I'm also using data compression.
This is modem B. Okay, we're connected. Start sending.
Here's a packet. Got it?
Got it. Send another one.
Here's another one.
Keep them coming, baby.
Here's another one.
Modems have increased in speed over the years. Not so long ago, a modem that transmitted at a speed of 14,400 bits of data per second was considered fast. Now, twice that speed at 28,800 or 28.8 kbps is considered a minimum. As the Internet becomes more filled with animations, graphics, sounds, and video clips, the amount of information your modem must pump increases too. Many computers now come with fax modems already installed, so new buyers won't need to worry about many of the installation and configuration problems that used to plague modem buyers. There are a number of ways that you can access this incredible universe of information and entertainment. The two most common types of connections are either through an online service or directly through an Internet Service Provider, or ISP. The three best-known online services are called America Online, CompuServe, and Prodigy. Because the market for online customers is so aggressive, most of these services offer free software and free hours of online time as an incentive to sign up with them. All of these services are available for both Macs and Windows machines, and once you're online, it really doesn't matter what kind of computer you're using. The way they work and the fees they charge after your free startup vary, and they change from time to time, so we won't discuss too many specifics. Let's just say that these three main services are comparable in cost and capabilities. Many people consider America Online to be the easiest to use and to have the best interface or on-screen controls that show you where things are and how to get to them. The areas are clearly organized with special areas such as kids, sports, entertainment, travel, financial, or chat rooms. A newsstand section has the largest selection of online magazines and newspapers of all the services. Another section is devoted to computer resources with free software, reviews, online purchases, technical updates, vendor email, and discussion groups about every area of computer life. If you want to talk to other people, there are hundreds of chat rooms, which are areas where many users can be online at the same time and type back and forth to each other. These are divided up into common interest areas. America Online is designed to be a family service, so no pornography, foul language, or objectionable material is allowed. Access to the internet through AOL is easy. The browser AOL uses is not full-featured in comparison to some of the others, but it does make web access dependable and simple. America Online handles email better than some of the other services and allows full access to news groups, FTP, and Gopher sites. CompuServe is one of the older services and is slightly more technically oriented, with a higher percentage of experienced computer users and professionals than AOL. Many of the same features are offered here with online encyclopedias, libraries, and reference books, as well as sports statistics, stock market reports, and the ability to make flight or hotel reservations. If you need research material for homework or a term paper, any of the three services have many resources that can help you track down all the material, statistics, pictures, and even video clips you could ever need. CompuServe generally costs a little less than AOL and seems to run a little faster, but is not as family-oriented. CompuServe lets you choose your own browser software and has broader internet support. Because CompuServe offers more options, it's not the easiest service to use, but online tech support is readily available and is very helpful. The way email is handled is not as elegant as AOL's, but is adequate. Prodigy is also a family-oriented service, with ease of use being a primary concern. Here too you'll find a slightly different mix of all the sports, news, games, reference sources, magazines, and chat rooms that the others have. Prodigy offers many family-oriented services, including a homework helper. Prodigy redesigned itself so that the whole appearance or interface of the service looks like the World Wide Web. This makes the differences between online content and services and the internet less obvious and makes moving back and forth from the net to Prodigy easy. Prodigy offers good newsgroup access and excellent Gopher and FTP support as well. Remember that these online services are not really on the internet. They are gateways to the net, and they each provide an impressive array of services of their own. In fact, many of the magazines, services, and resources on these online services are not available on the internet because there's no simple way for them to charge for their services on the net. The online services pay for these features through your subscription, through advertisements as you browse, and a portion of your online time charges. If you're just getting started in the online world, these services can make the journey a lot easier, and they add a lot of features and content to the mix. However, if you plan to spend more than an hour or two a day on the net, the cost per hour for connection can add up, and your bill can get out of hand quickly. If you see that you're going to be a heavy net user, it might make more sense for you to look at the other alternative, a direct internet link with an internet service provider. It's important to remember that the features offered and the quality of service can vary. Like the online services, this is a competitive market, so you should shop around, but price is not the only factor to consider. Your provider should also help you get a basic web page set up and on the net immediately at little or no cost. You should do some research and strategy planning before you create your permanent site design. All web browsers are going to do most of the same tasks in slightly different ways. All will let you mark your place so that you can return. These are called bookmarks, place marks, or favorites. Let's look at the browser that the majority of web clients use, Netscape. The box at the very top of the browser window displays the title chosen by the creator of the page. When you create a bookmark, this title is what will be displayed, not the actual URL address. Under this is the toolbar with buttons for these functions: back one page, forward one page, and the service home page. The next cluster are reload the page, reload the images on a page, open a new page, print the current page, find a word on the page, and stop loading. The Netscape logo plays an animation when pages are loading, or you can click on the logo to go to the Netscape home page. Beneath this is the URL bar. The URL address of the page you're viewing appears in the location box at the center, or you can type an address here and you'll be taken to that page. The little box at the left is the URL link button. Click on it, and the current URL is copied to the clipboard for pasting elsewhere. Next is a row of buttons that offers you some choices that the Netscape people think you might like. Useful new pages, cool things on the net, interesting places, a choice of search engines to find what you're looking for. People takes you to a White Pages directory search form, and Software takes you to a site to download the newest version of Netscape. The big window is, of course, the active window where the actual web pages are displayed. Netscape uses something called frames that many other browsers can't display. This lets the page creators break the page up into segments so that the whole page doesn't have to redraw to update the information in that frame. Finally, at the bottom of the screen are several more important elements. The key at the left indicates that this site does not have built-in security, so any information that you enter could be hacked by someone else on the net. This is unlikely, but it could happen. You should never give credit card or other sensitive information unless the key is solid. Other browsers have different ways of showing this security status, so be sure you know your browser. Next is the status box. This will tell you how much of a page has loaded, how fast it's coming in, and other info. The small box to the right of this one is a thermometer-style bar that shows how close an operation is to being finished. The last icon launches the Netscape email program. It also will indicate whether Netscape has checked your mail this session and how many email messages you have waiting. Microsoft Explorer has this function on the toolbar at the top. Other browsers may display some of these things differently or offer some other unique features, but in general, most browsers on the market perform the same tasks. The best place to learn about the Internet from here is on the Internet. Because it's changing daily, and because there is so much knowledge and resources on the Internet, you can find literally anything that interests you. Free software, libraries and publishers, schools and universities, businesses and consultants, indexes of the useful and unusual locations on the Internet are all there waiting for you. You've done it. You're online and connected with the universe of information we dreamed about earlier. The Internet lies before you, waiting for you to choose a direction or a topic, your first stepping stone into the awesome possibilities of the Internet. Be sure to watch the other two tapes in this series, Cruising the Information Superhighway and Doing Business on the Internet.
You're watching Sleepcore. Pleasant dreams.
I think it's the greatest service available.
It's games if you want to have fun. It's information if you want to learn something.
It's a private window to the world.
Yes, welcome to America Online and a new era in communications. Welcome to a nationwide online network with the power, range, and ease of access to put a world of information at your fingertips. People all over America are connecting their personal computers to their telephones so they can access outside sources of information and interact with other people.
I use America Online roughly 10 times a day. Mostly I use it for point-to-point email communication because I hate playing telephone tag.
I find it important to communicate with a client or a customer in real time, and I don't want to have to wait for a return phone call via a machine or something else.
My business associate doesn't live real close to me, so we send messages and work that we're doing back and forth using America Online.
Other subscribers like to access late-breaking news reports.
I may be working on a story for television that requires a little research that our research department can't give me, so I use the online service for that.
I started to use it, frankly, during the Yeltsin, during the coup in August. I found that the updates were fabulous.
Well, I use it for three things. I follow my stock portfolio through the stock section. I write letters to my mother, and I also download Macintosh software.
Personal computer owners can obtain a wide variety of software and get help when they have questions.
I support about 50 Macintoshes within my company, and I get a lot of shareware and public domain utilities off of America Online. Providing communication between users and the publishers of the software is a major component of America Online.
America Online is working with groups such as SeniorNet and the National Education Association to build electronic communities. Microsoft has joined with America Online to create the Microsoft Small Business Center.
And the idea behind this is to provide tools, training, consulting, and support to entrepreneurs, people running home businesses, generating income out of the home.
There are hundreds of additional uses of America Online. Only your imagination is the limit.
I like to get into the encyclopedia and look up research information.
We've used it for about a year and a half for prototypes of connecting school districts to databases.
You can shop, you can get travel information, news, weather, sports, whatever you want.
I think it's great. You know why I think it's great?
Tell me.
Because it looks like the Mac, that's why.
Really?
Yeah. It's very user-friendly, you know. There's no problem moving from place to place. It's easy to understand without knowing anything about computers, really.
It's got to be the easiest thing to use that I've ever seen.
I hate the other ones. I have all my customers on America Online. I love it.
America Online is creating partnerships with leading media companies to combine the content and credibility of print with the interactivity of America Online.
We're looking forward to participating through America Online on a nationwide basis, and also to developing localized editions of the America Online service in markets where we have an established presence.
In the next decade, online services will revolutionize the way we communicate, and America Online is ready to lead the way.
10 years from now, people will access America Online through a wide variety of services. Some will use a classical personal computer on a desk. Some will use what looks like a telephone with a little display on it to access services. Some may access these services through television.
We have a product we believe that people really enjoy, and once they start using it, in some cases it almost becomes addictive.
We're going to see this become a real broad-based product for users, just as the telephone was once a very small product and now it's used by everybody.
Online is, of course, how everybody's going to be getting their information.
It's very obvious that online services will change the world.
America Online, the online service for the 1990s.
What's on TV tonight? Who cares? Wow, a new online service from CompuServe. Try it free.
Welcome to Prodigy Internet, a totally new way to explore the Internet. Think of Prodigy Internet as your local diner. Come on in. It's a comfortable place to talk with friends, have a great time, and get information about anything you're interested in. Connect with friends across the world with electronic mail. Check out news groups where people exchange opinions and ideas. Keep the coffee brewing for night people, the Prodigy internet site for late-night conversations. Day or night, chat with new friends online. Go to Chat Soup for the daily dish on celebrities and hear the latest music news and reviews. Stay informed with AP Online. Get the latest baseball scores and stats or join a fantasy baseball league. In Planet Teenager, you can talk with teens worldwide or even get help for homework. Try Learning Adventure, where the universe is just a click away. Internet Base, Netscape Navigator, Chat, Easy Email, Games, Interest Communities, Downloadable Files, Online Computer Support, 20 trial hours. Prodigy Internet's already installed on your new computer, so try us now for 20 trial hours.
Get live with CBS on Prodigy, the nation's most popular online service. Go behind the scenes of The Late Late Show with Tom Snyder. Talk with Tom and his guests online. Tell us what you think. Get program information. Even take a special Tom Snyder trivia quiz. To order Prodigy, call 1-800-PRODIGY and ask for the CBS offer today.
His office may be cluttered, but 23-year-old Mark Andreessen has brought rhyme, reason, and maybe soon the masses to the mystifying world of the internet.
It just seemed to make sense. We had these really powerful networks with these really powerful computers on everyone's desks, and no software to actually use on them.
Like everyone else on the internet, Andreessen used to browse the global network of computer networks by tapping out a lexicon of arcane commands. Andreessen turned the commands and the endless lines of text into this, a point-and-click tool for navigating the World Wide Web, which seamlessly links computers all over the world. It's called Mosaic, and Andreessen wrote it 2 years ago while he was an undergrad at the University of Illinois in Champaign-Urbana.
Mosaic does for networks much as the Macintosh desktop or as Windows did for PCs. Instead of having to actually use cryptic commands, having to type in command strings with specific locations of files or information, you can just point and click on things that you're interested in.
Simple.
Simple.
Simple, and simply taking the world of cyberspace by storm. Businesses, large and small, universities, museums, government entities, and anyone else willing to invest the time and money are establishing graphically rich destinations for internet users. They're called home pages, and about a dozen new ones are popping up on the net every day.
People are very impressed with the information that's there, the form that it's presented in.
Mary Jane Nesbitt runs a small consignment shop in the San Francisco area. She maintains a home page on the internet for about $20 a month. With an estimated 30 million users all over the world, the internet clearly offers much more reach than she needs, but it's still much cheaper than advertising locally.
I can spread the word about who I am and where I am in a way that I couldn't afford. I couldn't afford to do TV, I couldn't afford to do radio.
Spreading the word and luring visitors is what prompted Atlanta's Michael C. Carlos Museum to open a home page, designed by Allison Nichols.
No matter how good your Mosaic pages are, it's still not like seeing it.
No, not at all. What we're trying to do is whet the appetite, get people to want to come in and see the pieces in person. Of course, there are a lot of people who are accessing this that don't have any opportunity to come here.
And the home page offers people easy electronic access to works in the museum collection, which are not on display. Like these 19th century French watercolors buried in a basement storeroom.
The general public wouldn't be able to see this unless they made it an appointment and wanted to see specific work.
So far, the electronic version of the Carlos Museum has attracted 15,000 visitors from 33 countries.
We want museums to be visited and seen as pertinent to people's lives. So anything we can do to make that happen, we'll do using this technology.
Allison Nichols says using this technology is relatively simple. She had no computer expertise when she began designing the Carlos homepage about a year ago.
Is this what's going to bring the internet
truly to the masses.
I hope so. I think this is really growing, and I think it's here to stay.
But for all its promise, easy access to the internet like this is still not truly practical for most home computer users. Conventional phone lines will send the graphics and the audio clips, but at a painfully slow pace. So for now, this will be primarily useful at businesses and universities which have special high-speed connections to the internet.
It's not a sort of really easy, tight, solid solution yet. It certainly is a huge leap from where we've come, but it's still for those who are more inclined to sort of play with computer technologies.
Limitations or not, Mark Andreessen's Mosaic has invited plenty of competition. There are now several similar programs designed to make net surfing easier.
But then if the header is not quite perfect, exactly.
And even Andreessen is competing with his original program. He and a dozen friends from college are hoping to cash in on the idea at a Silicon Valley company called Netscape Communications. Their Netscape internet browser looks and feels much like Mosaic.
We want to bring it to everyone who possibly ever has a use for it. And over time, we think that's everyone. And we want to make it really easy and really straightforward and really compelling to experience it.
For all the hype, right now the internet remains the dominion of a narrow group of computer-savvy individuals. A whole new group of net surfers could ride this next wave into cyberspace.
You're watching Sleepcore, media for insomnia.
Now a look at life in the fast lane of the information superhighway. Surf the internet with Wingham Rowan and Anna Damsky at the Cyber Cafe.
Tonight, Comics Dave and Danny say they're proud to be nerds. They're here to tell us why computer geeks are more fun than most people realize. Warring Tories on the net. Angus and Julian have been arguing about John Major for months. Tonight, they meet for the first time. And what kind of information does the net have for practical jokers? Timmy Mallet drops in to find out.
Yes, more intelligent, thoughtful people who have discovered the internet. Plus tonight, Timmy Mallet. I'm Wingham Rowan. You're watching Cyber Cafe. Well, Anna, another week, another challenge. Brace yourself.
Oh, yes, I am.
Let's have it.
Thank you very much.
And it is?
This is going to be funny. Find the most imaginative fantasies on the net.
Oh, keep your internet friends out of this. This was set by the evil-minded but highly skilled technicians working on Cyber Cafe.
Yeah, they just want some ideas, isn't that right?
And they came to the right place, didn't they? Do you know where you're going to start?
I'm going to start in my head.
Yeah, well, that's what we're really, really afraid of. We'll be back later to find out just exactly what Anna has come up with. So, how competent is John Major? Angus thinks he's completely useless. Julian thinks he's the best Prime Minister Britain has ever had. And they've been rowing about it for months on the net. They're about to meet for the first time ever. Come on, in you come. Right, what's the story of how the two of you first met on the net?
How we first met on the net? Well, I think the very first message I posted had the title, John Major is a prat. And in it I set out why I think John Major's a prat. And you were one of the people who replied to it.
Go on, what did you say?
I can't remember the first message. All I remember my first message is John Major's a very good Prime Minister, the best we've had. They sort of merged all of them into one, I think, all these different posts.
Right. Angus, you're a physics student. You post about 10, 15 messages a day to the internet.
Well, I had a
How does it all fit into your life?
Well, I had a look at one of these search things where you can search and see how many messages you've posted. It's about 2,000 for this year. It's a lot, but I try to make sure it doesn't eat into the time I'm supposed to be spending studying or in the laboratory or anything.
And Julian, your commitment to the internet is very glossy. You've set up the UK politics pages. It's got very impressive links to local councils, a lot of electoral data, information on parties around the country. Why did you do it?
It started off as an advertisement for Kiel Conservatives to get people into the Kiel Conservatives webpage, and then it grew and grew, and we had hundreds of links and electoral results. And so it moved to the Department of Politics, and ever since then it's been growing and growing.
Yes, it's become something of internet tourist site. Right, well, the first point is how competent John Major is. and you have completely differing views on this. Angus, my favourite quote was, his incompetence is unbelievable. Go on, justify that.
Gosh, I'm wondering when I made that. I'm sure I did. I'm
Yes,
sure your research is very good. Well, if you look at what he's doing at the moment, he seems to have his cabinet firing off ideas in all directions, left, right and centre.
You can butt in on this, Julian. You know, don't feel you've just got to sit in silence.
In the hope of hitting the country's sweet spot, but he hasn't managed it.
I think we look at the Prime Minister and look at what he's done over the economy, especially in the last 5 years. We have low interest rates and low inflation and a very strong economy with rising exports all the time. And people are feeling better off.
In those 6 years, he's doubled the national debt.
National debt has risen under a lot of Prime Ministers. There was a recession, he had to fund that recession.
Okay.
Well, that's very interesting, but just tell me how it works on the net for the two of you. Do you type in your messages out of a feeling of real passion? Because you obviously completely disagree with each other. I mean, do you get incensed when you see each other's latest messages on the
Every
net?
now and then I'll see a message from Julian. There was one to do with the police pepper sprays.
Oh yeah, I should mention that there's also a real ding-dong going between the two of you on the question of law and order, and you actually called Julian jackboot Jules on the net, which is a bit unkind. Carry on.
Yeah.
Pepper sprays.
There was a message about the police pepper sprays where I said, you know, they've only killed one person so far, so let's give them to all the police forces. And, you know, the problem with them is if anybody with asthma or a heart condition is got by the pepper spray, they're in really deep trouble. And I think Julian replied saying, oh, well, they know the risk before they commit the crime. And that, I find, is quite incredible.
We have to defend the police, and if it's a good way of doing it, we should look into it. And there were trials, and they were shown to be fairly successful, and so they've been expanded.
Do you think arguing over the net changes anything? Does it achieve anything?
It gives me satisfaction of doing at least something, because I don't like seeing John Major continually abused and insulted when I think he's doing a good job. I think it's important at least somebody tries to stand up for him, because there aren't that many people that are prepared to try on the net, so it's nice to try and do something.
So, now you've met in the flesh, are you going to have a drink together?
I don't see why not.
I certainly don't see why not either.
Question that was addressed to the panel. I mean, first of all, I think the idea that you can be human and not political is ridiculous. I mean, everything that human beings do is political on every level. And what we are in the process of doing here is creating the first political space, the first agora or commons that every single member of humanity might one day occupy together. And there will be politics in there, and there are already. And furthermore, the transition between all of the little local politics that we presently engage in, whether on a family level or a nation state, to one central garden of human thought is going to cause the renegotiation of every existing power relationship on this planet in an extremely short period of time. People think that I get, I should be taken off my medication for some of the hyperbolic things I say about the internet. I think the internet is underhyped, frankly. I think that people fail to recognize the political consequences of this, not only in their potential, but in their current actuality. The internet is changing humanity quicker than any development since the capture of fire right now.